Hello and welcome to the Dirty Dozen. For this workout we're going to be focusing on the upper body for shoulders, chest and back, and we're going to have 4 exercises we're going to run through. Now what I want to get you thinking about is when you're at home with your dumbbells you might have limited weight, so we're going to think about contracting the muscle properly and engaging the muscle properly rather than just shifting the maximum amount of weight. Have to understand that muscle grows from tension and failure as well as mechanical overload from heavy weight. So while we might be limited at home with the amount of weight we've got, we're not limited with the amount of tension and the overload we can place on volume. So I'm going to go through the exercises. They are listed on the app, and if you just follow along, some of these can be done in supersets, some of them can be done individually. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to run through doing almost 2 sets of supersets as we go through, and you'll see as you follow along. So I have 2 sets of dumbbells. One is 15 kilos, one is 12 kilos, and this should provide adequate tension on the muscles through the volume of the reps that we're going to do. So the first exercise we're going to do is a dumbbell row. Dumbbell row for me is generally a heavier exercise, and make sure obviously you're warmed up before you start this workout. So for dumbbell rows, we're going to make sure we get the form right, and we're going to make sure we contract the muscle right. So I'm going to do it from the side so you can see. So we're going to stand upright, we're going to come over, and from now we're going to retract the shoulders and pull up into a squeeze, come down, retract and pull up. And we're going to make sure that we're holding the muscle at the top and keeping the tension all the way through. So we're going to get 20 reps. I think that's 10 so far. Now the idea is you're squeezing the muscle. You might not be fatigued at the moment, but when we get into 3 to 4 sets, you will be. That's about 15. Now you can, if you want, superset with the floor press. I'm going to go straight into dumbbell rows again, but the order of the exercises are dumbbell row, then a floor press, and then for the lighter dumbbells we've got dumbbell shoulder press and dirty rows, which I'll come on to in a bit. So only a short rest between sets because the mechanical overload of the weight is not so high, so that we can go into the sets a bit quicker. So we're going to go again for 20. So remember to retract and squeeze and hold for a second. And we're going to rest for another minute. You can tell I'm not built for endurance, so I do reps and then I rest. I'm not like Lee or Cal that can jump around for 20 minutes and not get out of breath. Built for strength, not for endurance. So we've had about a minute or so rest. I think that's 20 seconds, let's go into it anyway. Remember to focus on the reps, making sure you're squeezing the muscle, retracting the shoulder blades, and not pulling with the arms. Okay, so 3 sets of dumbbell rows. We'll go into 3 sets of floor press now.
I wish I'd had a free workout before I'd done that. So the floor press, you want to set up a mat so you can lie down. I'm going to go from the side so you can see the form. So once you set that up, if you're slow like me, it'll be adequate rest time. With floor press, make sure you don't bang your elbows off the floor. Make sure it's controlled movement, squeezing the chest. So start from the top here. Open the arms up. Just touch the floor. Don't rest your arms like this. Just touch the floor with the triceps. Squeeze up. And squeeze the chest. Don't bring the dumbbells in front of your chest. Just push up in front of you. And we're going to do this for 20 reps as well. When you push up the top, make sure your back's slightly arched up so the chest is at the front of the movement. And the last count, that's about 10. Squeeze each one, so you're focusing on the squeeze of the chest. That's maybe 15. Take a slight rest, about maybe 30 seconds or so. Remember, because we're not using potentially maximum weights here, obviously if you can go hold of a few heavy dumbbells, you want to take a bit more of a rest, but if you are doing a lighter dumbbell and you're pushing more reps, you want to keep the heart rate up as much as possible because the muscle's not going to get fatigued unless it's overloaded. So taking long rest between sets of lighter dumbbells doesn't help with the goal of overloading the muscle. So, gonna go again. Remember to squeeze the chest at the top. We want to be contracting the chest, not pushing up through the delts. Remember not to lay on the floor with the elbows, just touch the floor with the tricep. So the advantage of floor press is that when you come back here, your shoulders are supported, whereas on a bench, sometimes when you come down the bench can dig into the shoulders. So even if you're going back to the gyms, you might want to use floor press as part of your exercise schedule, or do it as part of my stuff. It really helps to engage your chest properly. So we're going to another sort of 10 seconds rest or so. Okay. Okay, let's go again, another 20 reps. Remember, squeeze through the chest. Chest is the focus here, not the shoulders, not the delts. You're squeezing the chest, nice wide open press into a squeeze at the top. Each time you're squeezing the muscle, you're sending an extra bit of contraction, extra bit of work. And what we're doing is we're focusing the mind to connect with the chest so that we can engage it faster and more effectively, so that when we're doing our big lifts on, say, bench press, we can get more reps out and more weight. I think that's about 20. Okay, so that's the first group of exercises, dumbbell row and floor press. So you can superset them if you want to. Next we're going to go into shoulder press and dirty rows. So for that we're going to use a lighter dumbbell. So So I've got some 12s here which may or may not be too heavy, we'll soon find out. So what we're going to do for the shoulder press, we're going to do a standing shoulder press. You can do seated as well if you want to at home, but your chairs at home might not be sturdy enough. Personally, I like standing, have to a little bit more core. So from here, we're going to do 15 reps. So swing up. You can rest them on the shoulders like this, is where I generally prefer to stay. Now bear in mind I've had a couple of shoulder operations, so my shoulders aren't aligned that well, so forgive the poor form maybe on the right side. So we're going to go for 15. Come down to the bottom, so rest here, and we can go right from the full range of movement. Remember, we want to engage the muscle properly, not use our ego to drive the weight up. Another 5. Rest. Shake off about 10 seconds, and we're going to go into dirty rows as a superset. So the dirty row is actually what's called a bad form row or high, maybe rear delt row. It's a row where we're normally in this position, going to be in this position, so engaging through the rear delts. So I'll do it from the side so you can see. So come slightly over, we're going to come out and up. Pull from the elbows, not the hands. I suggest you do those quite fast because you haven't got the ability to hold at the top and put a lot of pressure on your lower back. So I tend to do those a little bit faster, pausing at the bottom. When you pull through the elbows rather than trying to pull it with your arms, because it'll turn into a row quite quickly. So a little rest for a minute. And we're going to go straight into shoulder press again. Okay, grab the dumbbells again. We're going to go for 15 reps if we can get it. Remember, the idea is to go to failure here. So if you don't get 15 reps but you fail, mission accomplished. Don't pussy out on the reps though. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't pick the 20s for that one. Okay, so over here for dirty rows, come close and then wide. Hey, rest a minute. Sort of glad I didn't have a pre-workout now. I'd be buzzing my tits off. I had to edit the swear word out afterwards. Sorry. Okay, let's go for the last set of 3 on this one. So pressing, then dirty row straight afterwards. Remember, looking for failure and proper range of movement.
little 10 seconds before dirty rows. What you'll find is if you've done the rows beforehand, your lower back's going to be nicely warm. You'll feel it when you come back down. Okay, so just ready to dirty rows again. Whew. Let's go. Okay, set 4, or work 4 complete. The reason why it's called Dirty Dozen is there's 12, I suppose, chunks, and we're going to go into the next chunk now, which is 2 times 20 of the dumbbell rows and the floor presses, and then 2 times 15 of the shoulder press and the dirty rows. So give yourself about a minute or so rest, and then your lower back's going to take a little bit of a hammering on this, so make sure you're always using proper form. Okay. Like I said, I'm not built for endurance, so I like a little bit more of a rest so I can get more reps out. If you want endurance and hit stuff, go and watch some of these and Raquel's brutal workouts. Okay, so we're going to go into dumbbell rows now, 2 times 20. Remember, retract the shoulders and then contract the lats. Hold it for a brief second, about half a second for a squeeze, and then come back down again. So come from the side so you can see the exercise. Okay, so come over. Tasty. On this round, I'm going to do supersets to do floor press as well. I'm not the most delicate to get onto the floor. Okay, floor press. Remember, you want to squeeze the chest on every rep. So pause, squeeze. Squeeze each rep. When we get 20. Oh. Nice sweat patch on the floor, mark of intensity, maybe. So give yourself a minute. So we supersetted that one. You don't have to superset it if you're at home, but sometimes get a little bit of intensity up. So we've got another set of rows and then pressing, and then we're into shoulder press and dirty rows. Okay. Let's go for another set. Okay, rows again. That's a little bit like talking through that one, a bit tough. Go superset for the shoulder, for the floor press.
Okay, 20 reps again. Squeeze the chest. Whew. Okay, about 30 seconds, we're going to shoulders. Remember, muscle building is based on fatigue of the muscle with weight over volume. That's what bodybuilding is about. Lifting weights, heavy weights is important, but we're in lockdown, or we are doing someone recording this. We need to find alternative methods rather than just trying to overload with too much weight, which may be not available if you can't have access to a gym. So intensity, range of movement, volume, all really important. So good. Shoulder press, remember the idea is to get to failure, 15 reps target, failure is fine. Whew. Didn't get 15 there. Okay, so go into dirty rows. Whew. Oh, that's a tough one. And we've got the last group of exercises coming up. Just one set of each, 20 reps. So we're going to do one set of rows, one set of floor press, one set of shoulder press, and then one set of dirty rows. Target here is 15 to 20 on each one. Essentially, when we get into failure on each one. So let's see what happens. So rows first. Oh. Okay, let's go. Ego restored, got 20. Go into floor press. Okay. Squeeze the chest. Get your 20. into dumbbell shoulder press, and then dirty rows to finish. And then I think I'm going to collapse somewhere. Right, let's go. Shoulder press to failure. Wow. See the fatigue for the last one, and you got 10 reps, but it was to failure. I fatigued the muscle, I got to failure, got to send the signal, going to dirty rows. Okay. Whew. Whew. So, managed to turn on that as well. So remember, it's the failure, the last couple of sets. I feel as though I've worked out. I feel as though my muscles are taxed, certainly couldn't do any more. Hope you're going on all right with yours. See you next time.